Welcome, everybody. My name is Stephen the Jupiterian here with a new video for you. Actually, well, let's share this. Happening May 31st, we have a full moon. Yes, there is a full moon in Sagittarius at 9 degrees 55 minutes, opposing the sun at 9 degrees 55 minutes. At 1:45 a.m. You probably been noticing that the moon has been getting fuller the past couple days. So I have this chart looks different because I have the decans, these three planets in the inner wheel here. Well, and then we have the bounds or terms in this outer wheel, which are uh, like a small section of this 30 degrees from 0 to 29 degrees of 59 minutes of each sign. We have 5 planets that are broken down into each. But yeah, that's another class. We are doing this full moon. Actually, in this full moon is in the bound of Jupiter, and Jupiter's bound, so ruled by Jupiter. So we have a dual Jupiterian vibe going on here with the moon in the moon's decan. I'm sorry, the moon is in the moon's decan, but it's in the term or bound of Jupiter, and the sun is in the term or bound of Venus, and the decan of Cancer. Oh, I'm sorry, Mars. So there you have that, and let me see. So yeah, we start actually, and at this time we have Pisces rising. The moon will be in the 10th house, in the 10th house at this time of this full moon. At this time on the West Coast, anyway. This is the West Coast. So it'll be this, the ascendant will change if you're in the Midwest, the East Coast, or overseas, abroad in London, England, or even all the way to New Zealand. This ascendant will not be the same. But this moon and the sun will be at the same degree, 9 degrees 55 minutes, and Sagittarius, the Sagittarian moon. And we have the sun in Gemini at 9 degrees 55 minutes. So there you have that, yes. And hmm, Mars is in the bound of Mercury in Taurus. The sun, Mercury in the sign of Taurus, and then you have a secondary ruler or secondary, yeah, planet that where this specific degree is with Mercury. And it's in the decan of Mercury as well. And I'll be teaching a class on the tarot cards with that go with each bound in this fire, earth, air, and water. Yeah, I'll be teaching a class on June 7th. The link will be in the description box below. Yeah, tarot and astrology, how they correspond with each other. And so yeah, here's this full moon. Actually, I'm going to change this. So we can do that now. Change that. Um, I'll stop this share. And no, I'm not going to stop the share. What I'm going to do now is move this to Aries. So this full moon for Aries, well, remember, the moon started at 9 degrees 55 minutes. The moon will be moving. Not sure how to pin the moon, sun and the moon at the same degree, keeping it at the same degree while moving this wheel. So we're starting with, well, we started with Pisces. The moon was in the 10th house, ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter in the 5th house for Pisces rising, right? Yes. Yep. The Jupiter, the ruler of this moon in Sagittarius. And the moon rules, yeah, the moon in Sagittarius. And the moon also rules the 5th house of Cancer. And we have Jupiter, Venus, and Jupiter almost conjunct. Well, I would say they're conjunct, getting to uh, an exact conjunction. But the moon rules by in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter in Cancer. So yeah, they're mutual reception. Jupiter is in the moon's sign, and the moon is in Jupiter's sign. One of Jupiter's. Interesting how that works. And then we have Mercury in his own domicile in Gemini in your fourth. So this is your fourth house where the sun is. So, all right, let's move on to Aries. Aries. Well, this is going in your ninth. The full moon is in your ninth house. Of higher learning, teaching, uh, everything that Yep. Sort of like your higher purpose, uh, publishing, and everything ninth house themed, all ninth house themes, spiritual and like religion, philosophy, your religion, your what you believe, your belief system, your philosophy on life. That's all ninth house. And this new full moon is ruled by Jupiter in your fourth house of home, conjunct Venus. So this is like values as well, and your wisdom, and Jupiter is expanding of your home and what you value. Maybe what you value is going to expand in the home front. Excuse me. Mercury is in his domicile in your third house of writing, communicating, siblings, which is kind of interesting that this full moon is this sun is co-present with Mercury in Gemini. But you're ruled by Mars, which is in your second house of money, finance, your voice. Taurus rising. Oh, you're ruled by Venus, but this full moon and Venus is in your third house. But we'll get back to that. The full moon is occurring in your eighth house of research, um, death, taxes, other people's money. Mm. And the sun is in your second house of your money. So you're balancing your money and other people's money, or even your spouse's money. It could be a spotlight on an inheritance or getting those financial um, the bills paid. Things you owe, like uh, credit card debt, possibly putting spotlight there. Mercury is really great here, co-present with the sun. Um, maybe devising the plan, devising the uh, ledger, and keeping it up to date, making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But you're ruled by Venus, which is in your third house of your neighborhood, neighbors, siblings, communication. So you may be expanding on who you value in your neighborhood, or expanding your neighborhood. Yeah, say, or noticing something that is expanding in your neighborhood. That's a great value. well, not value monetarily per se, but it could be that you value like that you that you sort of value the way that something looks or appeals to you. It feels nice, feels good. Then Cancer, and you're and it's homey. You know, your neighbors could feel like you're a home, your home to you. Taurus rising. So there you go. What else do we want to do? Oh, Mars is in your sign as well. So yeah, you're probably going to be taking a lot more action, slow action. Um, yeah, try not. I wouldn't say. I would say Mars and Taurus isn't the best, right? Mars and Taurus. Hmm. Actually, let's see. Mars and Taurus is in detriment. So yeah, actually, I would say not the best time to take action on things, but trying to do things slowly, methodically. Um, instead of quickly moving through things. Mars, yeah, Mars is the planet of action and also cutting and severing things. But Mars is in detriment here in Taurus. So, um, Taurus rising, make sure you're doing things slowly. Don't rush into things. Although Taurus, you're not one to rush into things anyway. You're very steady and take your time anyway. So yeah, Mars here is making sure that you're not being as harsh, anything, doing anything too rash. Okay, let's see. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini rising. Well, you're ruled by Mercury, and he's in your sign. In well, he not he, but Mercury is in the sign of Gemini. One of the signs Mercury rules. Mercury also rules your fourth house, and this full moon is in your seventh house of other people, clientele, the marketplace, clients, yeah, your spouse, one to one relationships could also be like any and all relationships, one to one relationships. When you're or negotiation, make doing negotiations with others. Um, this full moon is ruled by Jupiter, which is in your second house. So you may be negotiating uh, financial things with your spouse or client or a business partner, which will be good. Actually, it'll expand on things you both value, and both benefics are conjunct and getting closer to a conjunction. This is a very positive thing for a lot of the rest of the year until Jupiter and Venus enter Leo. Or, well, Venus will enter Leo, then Jupiter. um, Well, you're not ruled by Mars, but Mars is in your 12th house. Um, so you may some detrimental things happening with with hidden enemy, making a hidden enemy by doing something, taking action in inappropriate ways. Let's see. That's about all. You can also see this moon is trying. It will be applying to a trine eventually as the day progresses, because actually this full moon is at 9 degrees and 55 minutes. It's starting to make a trine, but it's perfecting, or it's actually perfected at 12 degrees, and with Saturn in Aries, which is in fall. Saturn in fall is in fall in Aries, correct? Yes. Mars is in detriment. But we have the two benefics in a really positive sign of Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, and I'm sorry, Venus in Gemini is in good standing as well. He has some dignity by term. Let's see. And the sun and the moon are neutral. They aren't in any signs they rule. Although the sun rules Leo and the moon rules Cancer, your second house. The sun rules your third house. So you can pull those themes of second and third house into this story as well. Uh, moving on to Cancer rising. Well, you're ruled by the moon. And this moon is a full moon ruled by Jupiter in Cancer. The moon is in your sixth house, transiting your sixth house of work, service, servitude, health, and all those cool things that the sixth house represent, like uh, service. Yeah. Looking at all the details. Well, in a very philosophical way, because Jupiter. I'm sorry, Sagittarius is a very philosophical sign. Huh. And emotional. Yeah, it's not very emotional as well, but it could be, bringing some emotion to your work, philosophical belief system to your how you feel about your work, or how you deal with. details and planning out things. So, you have Venus and Jupiter in your first house. Well, yeah, that's really beneficial for you. But we have all these things going happening in your 12th house as well. We have Uranus, the Sun, and Mercury in your 12th house, shaking up some things from maybe a past, bringing people from the past back to you for a while. Yeah, people from the past trying to talk to you, tell you what. Well, Mercury is in the 12th. Hmm. Ha, other people can probably be negative, be not negative, but uh, influential in how they communicate with you. What else do we want to say? Doo, 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 doo. Well, Mars is in detriment in your 11th house. So this could be uh friends and monetary gains from your career. Things you that yeah, taking some action may take some time dealing with this. Bide your time with other people who may be sketchy towards you. Feeling if you feel something's off, um, yeah, take it slow. Don't rush into anything. Let's see. So this moon is ruled by you, so that's your sixth house. Work, yeah, concentrating on work, being of service to others, but actually don't let others be pull you down to being a doormat, or um, others dictating what they want. You make the choice. What you need, you know what you need to do. You know uh, how to take care of yourself. Just this is just a temporary thing because Mercury will enter your sign soon. You won't have to worry about that. You'll be the one in charge. You'll be the one talking more than usual. Yes. Moving on to Leo. Leo, well, you're ruled by the sun, but this new full moon is happening in your fifth house of creativity, pleasure, fun, entertainment, things that even children and sex, uh, creativity, procreation. So this full moon is in your fifth house. And the sun is in you're ruled by the sun, and the sun is in your 11th house of friends, benefactors, and monetary gains of your career. It's being shaken up here with Uranus in your 11th house. So unusual things may well, you may meet new and unusual friends, or your friends may seem to want to be doing something unusual. I would say go for it. Enjoy it, have fun. Actually, yes. Enjoy it, have fun. Um, yeah. The moon rules Jupiter in your 12th house, though, with co-present with Venus in Cancer. Well, this is beneficial for uh for hospitals and uh past lives and hidden enemies. Uh Not a terrible thing for the 12th house. Of secrets. Um maybe you should well, maybe you should keep things private for now. Don't let everyone know what's going on with you, Leo. uh yeah. Um, yes, yeah, Pluto is mm, definitely in your seventh house. Um, renovating, cleaning up things from your relationships, seventh house partners, and it could be business and partnership, and could also be very good for you to, which is I, yeah, it's really good for me anyway. I'm not a Leo rising, but I do know some Leo risings who are really, really cool. And I know they mean well. They're not mean at all. Alrighty. Moving on up to Virgo. Virgo rising. Virgo, you're ruled by Mercury, but this full moon is occurring, and Mercury is in your 10th house, where the sun is co present with the sun and Uranus. The moon is transiting your fourth house. This full moon is in your fourth house. And remember, the full moon is at 9 degrees 55 minutes, and the sun was at 9 degrees 55 minutes. Oops, let me do something on the back end here. I'll edit this. Oops, I'm gonna move this to a day. Uh, Shoot. All right. All right. Well, here you go. Okay. Put this. Well, well. Okay. Nine. It's not 9 degrees and some change yet, but let's go back hours. Yeah. On the East Coast, we'll have Taurus rising, right? When the moon is yeah, when we have the full moon on the 31st. Yep. We'll have Taurus will be on the rise instead of Pisces. On the West Coast, Taurus will be on the rise. Okay. All right, let's move this ahead. We are on Virgo. No, Leo. Virgo. Oh, we know Virgo. Sorry, Virgo. So this Virgo, when you rule by Mercury, and that's in your 10th house. So 10th house themes of career, reputation, uh, it's the very top of your chart, the chart as well. 10th house. Well, the MC really is, but yeah. So that's very close to Mercury, and Mercury is conjunct the midheaven, and the Sun and Uranus are co-present there as well. But this full moon is in your fourth house of home, family. Could be. Um, it's also a hidden house. The fourth, the fourth, the eighth, and the 12th are hidden house, or like they are like very uh well, the eighth house deals with the esoteric, could be mystery and unknowns, could also be legacies. The eighth house. Fourth house is un is a very unconscious house too, where things just come to you just by knowing it unconsciously. Huh. So you can bring emotional downloads or philosophies may come to you, Virgo. Not terrible. That's not bad. That's not bad. And the full moon is uh, ruled by your 11th house of Cancer. We have Venus and Jupiter here, the two benefic, which are coming very close to each other in your 11th house of friends, social alliances, groups that you're affiliated with, even gains from your career endeavors. Very beneficial for you, Virgo, at this time if you use it correctly and wisely. Moving on up to Libra. Libra. We're going to sing Libra because, well, Libra, you are very musically inclined, um, for the most part. You're ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Cancer. But this full moon is in your third house of neighbors, communication, writing, learning. The third house is all about learning. Expanding your knowledge of something, learning something, because actually we have the moon in Jupiter in Sagittarius. Jupiter rule is this sign, and Jupiter is in your 10th house. So you'll probably be very popular. Popular. You're gonna be popular. Okay. Yep. And Venus is co-present here with Jupiter in your 10th house of uh, reputation. So, and career, and is going to be most prevalent here for you, the Libra rising. And I know Libra risings who are doing very well in their career advancement. So, congratulations on that. Yay. Moving on up to Scorpio. Well, Scorpio, you're ruled by Mars. But this full moon, and Mars is in your 7th house. And Sagittarius, the moon is in Sagittarius in their 2nd house. Cat, Scorpio rising. The moon in your 2nd house. Emotionally tied to your beliefs and philosophy on money and finance and values, what you value, like, or even or actually, you maybe even feel emotionally attached to something from your voice. Because the moon is an emotional attachment. And this full moon is going to be is going to put a spotlight on that for sure. But Mars is in your 7th house. Mars in the 7th house is in detriment. Mars is in detriment in Taurus in your 7th house. I would say uh not greatest thing for Scorpio rising. Well, Mars transiting your 7th house. Of marriage, um, legal affairs, business partners. Yeah, not a good thing, not the best thing to bring up things with business partners, colleagues, and one-to-one relationships at this time. Scorpio rising. Sagittarius rising. Oh, the moon is in this full moon is occurring in your house. It's illuminating you. So, the moon, if you're Sagittarius rising like me, who has the moon in Sagittarius, this is a really, really great time to focus on you, your emotions, how your personnel, everything about you, physically, physical appearance, your uh, everything about you, how you look and feel, and you're ruled by Jupiter, which is transiting your 8th house of legacies, taxes, death, rebirth. So yeah, this is very beneficial for uh money situation, a money situation. It's in an aversion to you. Jupiter and Venus is in an aversion to you. But hey, the eighth house is still bringing beneficial things to your uh, legacy. What you want to be known for. The moon rules the eighth house. You'll be known for some kind of occult science or what you research and um, what you actually produce and do when you're doing your research. Heck, Mercury is in your and the Sun and Uranus is shaking up things in your with your one-to-one negotiations with your clients, your marketplace. Beneficial for your marketplace as well. You and your clientele and your spouse or partner are seeing things eye to eye because the first and the seventh house actually do see each other. The eighth and the first don't, but hey, communication is really good for you right now. Mars is an aversion to you as well. It's in your sixth house of work, working methodically, slowly, determined to and being and endure, and it's enduring. You know, when you work, it you take your time and plod through very slowly, like the Taurus do. They're very uh, stubborn when it comes to work. They do it slowly and efficiently, like an earth sign is very efficient. Moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn rising. Well, you're ruled by Saturn, but this full moon is occurring in your 12th house. 12th house of secrets, past lives, things that are private. Your It's actually in the rear view mirror of your life. You may not see or feel what's coming, but it's illuminating the sun in the sixth house of work and pets and illness, health wise. Capricorn. Oh no, hey, so yeah, actually, this is temporary. It's like a 2 day thing. But this full moon will be in effect in your 12th house of hidden enemies and all these wonderful things. Mars is in your fifth house of creativity, fun, entertainment, children, uh, procreation. But you're ruled by Saturn. And Saturn, your ruling planet, is transiting your fourth house, which is bringing discipline and stability. Saturn is uh, the taskmaster. So things that are dealing with the fourth house of home, family, your roots, how you, yeah, your lineage, the family lineage. So you may be taking on some responsibility in the home, more taking on more responsibility at home. Capricorn rising, taking care of your parents, possibly. Capricorn rising. I know Capricorn risings are doing, a couple of them are dealing with family issues or with things that have to do with home, and probably bringing up past things from or things from the past with family. Alrighty, but this full moon is in your 12th house, so uh, yeah, of past lives. You're keeping have um, yeah, actually, hidden enemies may be coming at people from the past, emotional past, hurt lives will come up for you, possibly. All right, Aquarius, you're also ruled by Saturn, but this time Saturn is transiting your third house. And we'll get back to that because we're going to talk about this full moon, which occurs at 9 degrees and 55 minutes in your 11th house of friends, benefactors, social groups, social alliances, um, friends. Yeah, as I said, this could be also how you're feeling monetarily and your work, uh, emotionally. Are you feeling philosophical with your friends? And because we're bringing in Saturn, just Sagittarius themes as well, which is also ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is in your sixth house of work, service, with Venus. Actually, well, don't worry about this. This is part of fortune, but that's a mathematical calculation. I should get rid of that here because we really don't need to see the part of fortune for the where with this. So yeah, here we are, Venus and Jupiter in your sixth house, bringing beneficial things to your work, ill and health, and everything for that, and your home too. Actually, Mars is bringing things up with the home, but actually, I would say a fifth and 11th house. With yeah, Mercury, the Sun, Uranus, all transiting your fifth house of fun, of shaking things up for your family, so or your children. Um, Enjoying having fun with your children, being more creative. Actually, I would say definitely shaking up your creativity and relationships with your children. And yeah, which is a positive. I would say this is positive because Mercury is in the sign it rules of your fifth house. And Mercury also rules your eighth house. So yeah. And Jupiter, well, Saturn also rules your 12th house. and your first house. But Saturn is transiting your third house. Is transiting your third. Well, Saturn rules your first and 12th house. It is transiting your third house. Saturn is transiting your third house. So he's bringing some discipline to your writing, communication, uh, social media status, and all kinds of things here. So, um, really good for you to have all this here right now. And so, yeah, yes. Uh, we started with Pisces. Sorry, we had to start with Pisces because on the West Coast where I am, Pisces will be on the rise, as I said. So, and again, if we move to Pisces, the sign of Pisces, this will still be in your 10th house. This full moon is in your 10th house, and all these other things here. We are ruled by Jupiter, Pisces, just like Sagittarius. You're ruled by Jupiter, and I talked about Jupiter in the 5th house with Venus. So, there you have it. That's my all signs, full moon, uh, interpretation. I'm going to stop my share. And uh, let me see. I'm going to open one more thing in the back end. And oh no, I'm going to share that. Hmm, maybe we'll see. Let's see. Um, no. Hold on. Okay. Now let's get back to this. All right. Now let me share. If you want to find out your uh, bounds, or let's see, is this sharing? Not yet. Okay, here we go. All right, finally. So you type in your birth information in here. Date of birth, the time, the birth place, city, place. Yep. And then you make sure this is on Egyptian terms, bounds, and then you calculate, and then you get all your bounds right there. Primary directions and all this. And all that. So yeah, that's what we did in class today. And let me stop the share. Exit. And I'll stop the share. And so yeah, that's what I have for you. And I'm going to be teaching. I'll be sharing the link to my class in the description box below. You can join me Sunday, June 7th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And yeah, I'll see you then in class. And Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, um, and post a comment. All right. Take care, everybody.